The history of Singapore is one of the most remarkable transformation stories in modern history. From an ancient maritime trading port to a British colonial hub, through war, decolonization, and sudden independence, Singapore emerged as a global center of trade, finance, and innovation, despite having no natural resources and a very small land area. Singapore's earliest recorded name was Temasek, meaning sea town, a reference to its coastal location. Archaeological evidence shows that as early as the 13th century, Temasek functioned as a trading port linked to regional networks connecting China, India, Java, and the Malay Peninsula. Its strategic position along the Strait of Malacca, one of the world's busiest maritime routes, made it valuable to merchants and empires. Chinese records describe Temasek as a modest but active settlement involved in trade, fishing, and ship repair. According to Malay legend, a Sumatran prince named Sang Nila Utama arrived on the island and renamed it Singapura, meaning Lion City. While the lion itself is likely symbolic, the story reflects Singapore's early political and cultural importance. Between the 14th and 16th centuries, Singapore came under the influence of powerful regional empires, including the Majapahit Empire, the Siamese Kingdom, and later the Malacca Sultanate. Control over Singapore shifted as regional power dynamics changed. After the rise of Malacca as the dominant trading center in the region, Singapore gradually declined in importance. By the 17th and 18th centuries, it had become a sparsely populated fishing village with little strategic value, until European powers arrived in Southeast Asia. Modern Singapore began in 1819 when Sir Stamford Raffles of the British East India Company established a trading post on the island. Recognizing its strategic location, the British declared Singapore a free port, allowing merchants to trade without heavy taxes. This decision transformed Singapore almost overnight. Traders from China, India, the Malay archipelago, and Europe flooded the port. The population grew rapidly, and Singapore became one of the most important ports in the British Empire. In 1867, Singapore became a British Crown colony. British rule introduced modern administration, infrastructure, education, and law, but political power remained firmly in colonial hands. Singapore's multicultural society took shape during this period, with Chinese, Malay, Indian, and European communities coexisting. World War II marked a turning point. In 1942, Japanese forces captured Singapore after defeating British defenses in Malaya. The fall of Singapore was a major shock to the British Empire and shattered the myth of Western invincibility in Asia. The Japanese occupation was brutal. Many civilians suffered from food shortages, forced labor, and executions. This period left deep psychological scars and permanently weakened British authority, accelerating demands for self-rule after the war. After World War II, Britain returned but faced growing resistance and political activism. Trade unions, student groups, and political parties demanded independence and better living conditions. In 1959, Singapore achieved internal self-government. Lee Kuan Yew became prime minister, marking the beginning of a new political era focused on anti-corruption, social order, and economic survival. In 1963, Singapore joined the Federation of Malaysia, hoping that a larger political union would ensure security and economic stability. However, tensions soon emerged over political power, economic policy, and ethnic relations. In 1965, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia and became an independent republic, an unexpected and deeply uncertain moment. The new nation faced enormous challenges: unemployment, housing shortages, lack of natural resources, and vulnerability to external threats. After independence, Singapore's leadership adopted a pragmatic survival strategy. The government focused on industrialization, export-led growth, public housing, education, and strict anti-corruption policies. Foreign investment was encouraged, English became the working language, and a strong civil service was built. Massive public housing programs transformed living conditions, while port and airport development turned Singapore into a global logistics hub. Within a few decades, Singapore evolved from a developing country into a high-income economy. By the late 20th and early 21st centuries, Singapore had become a global financial center, technology hub, and one of the world's busiest ports. The country is known for political stability, efficient governance, strong rule of law, and long-term planning. Despite its small size, Singapore plays a major role in global trade, diplomacy, and innovation, often cited as a model of rapid development and effective governance. Singapore's history is defined by adaptability and strategic vision. Its transformation, from ancient port to colonial city to independent global powerhouse, shows how geography, leadership, and policy can overcome even the most severe constraints.